All right, let's go and check out the DFD exercises. So we have two DFDs, so let's focus on the first one. So first thing we need to do with this is to identify the nouns and verbs. Let's keep it simple. So let's go with the noun. So noun is customer, right? And then we have goods, and then the company checks the order and payment. So order and payment when it arrives, and then pass the order for processing. Picking list is printed for the warehouse, so we get the warehouse where the goods are packed and dispatched to the customer. Details of the order are recorded. So the order, again, we have the order details. We get order details are recorded in the customer file, and then invoice is dispatched. Then we have the stock levels in the stock file are adjusted as orders being processed. So the nouns we have here, we have customer, we have warehouse, and then we have stock file, right? We got stock file, and then what else we have? Blah, 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 blah. Order, we also have order details. We have invoice, and then we have payment. Okay, cool. So the verbs is that we have in here, we got process order. So we have processing. So let's go and change the color a bit. So now if you look at the verb, we got the company checks the order, so we can do that one. And then pass the order for processing, or we can do process order. So we can do an operation called check order. And then a picking list is printed, so we can do a picking list, print picking list. And then we also have details are recorded in the customer file. So record order in customer file. And then we have send invoice, so invoice dispatch. And then the stock levels are being adjusted, so we can do adjust stock level. So that's how we're gonna make it work. So we already know that the stock levels, the stock files, and there's also a customer file here that we have missed. So we have stock file and customer file, which is a database. Okay, so in here, what we're going to do is that we're just gonna do the context level DFDs. So we're gonna have just gonna do a rectangle here. So this is, we have a customer. So let's have a look. Why I cannot insert the thing?
Maybe you gotta drag it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So we have a customer here. Then we have database. I don't have database, so I'm just gonna use a can for database. So database here will be the customer file. And then we need another database here. This one here is the stock levels. Okay, so and then what we can do is we can do a big let's do this one here for process, because we just want to make something big for now. So in here, so we have that one. So this is the process. So this is this ordering system. So we are doing a context level. We're doing top level. And then we also have in here warehouse. So what we will receive. So back to the storyline. So customer sends off order to a mail order company for goods. Okay, cool. So customer sends out the order. So we just need to draw a line. So how can we draw a line in here? Line arrow. So let's see. Okay, this one here. So we need to draw a line. So we draw. So customer sends order and payment. So the order and payment is sent to the ordering system, and then what the ordering system do next. So send it to the ordering system, and then the company checks and then pass the order for processing, and then it sends a picking list to the warehouse. So in here, we're going to send picking list to the warehouse. So here we are sending picking lists, and then the warehouse will pack and send the goods to the customer, but we don't worry about that one because that is outside our system. But what we also do in here is that details of order are recorded into the customer files. So we have to send this to the customer file. So we go and pull this to the customer file, and then we just put it here, new order details, new order. We can put it there, so we can do that one. And then we also need to update the stock levels in the stock files. So in here, we also have to send to the stock level, and then we're sending new stock level. So that's probably the simplest context level diagram. So we get the customer sending order and payment to our ordering system. It generates a picking list to send to the warehouse. It also sends, updates the customer file. It updates the stock level. And then the last thing that it will do is that it will send an invoice as well. So we go in here and then we'll send the tax invoice back to the customer. So that's how we have the context level. So that's how everything flows. Customer sends order and payment. The ordering system sends the picking list to the warehouse. It updates the customer files. It sends an invoice to the customer, and then it updates the stock level. So that is the what we call the context level diagram. So now we are going to replicate this. So let me just copy that, copy that, copy that, and copy that. And then we're just gonna create a new page here. And then we're just gonna start to build our boxes, our processes. So I don't have what we're gonna use here.
Let's just use like curved lines.
Yeah, I just use the rounded one. So we have process number 1, right? Process 1.0, process customer order. So what does the process customer order does? So the customer sends the order to this process. So this one here is order and payment. So step 1, process customer order. What that will do, we're coming back in here as well. So it's process, we generate a picking list to the warehouse. So this one here, we can generate a picking list. So that's the first output. So we can go back and then we can send the picking list here. So let's just call it picking list. All right. So let's just move this to the left a bit. So that's the first process. Then what it will do is that it will send, uh, nope. Now, one rule of the DFD is that you cannot have intersect lines. So let me just move the warehouse to the top. I do love that rule. So that goes to the warehouse. So now we're going to pass on the order. So we're gonna call here update customer file. So this one here, um, we're gonna pass the same order. So this one here can be still the same order because the data has been transformed and then the order is being passed on to the next one. In this one here, we update the customer file. So we're gonna put in new order details. So that one goes back to the customer file, but we also sending back to the customer an invoice. So that's what we did here. So we go and then after we do the picking list, we save in the customer file and send it to the dispatch. And then we go into the next process. So this is process number 2. And then if we go to process number 3, so from the order, it will send us to the process number 3, which is we're gonna call it 3.0 update stock levels. And in here, we're passing here is that in inventory required. So basically like I need 5 bolts and whatever like that. And then in here, we send it back to the database. We can call it updated inventory. So that is how I will handle this DFD. So that's a flow with 3 processes. So I wonder how does they do it on their key answer. So with the lack of the key answer, I think that is what I am happy to work with. So how then the question will be how do we make sure that the DFD that we're creating is complete, right? The best way for you to make sure is just read the question and follow through. So like customer sends off order for the company. So we go in here and then we check our DFD. Customer sends order to that. Okay, so that one is checked, right? The company checks the order, the payment, and then pass it order for processing. So probably in here, we probably might need like there's a validation point in here. So we probably will need a process in there as well. So maybe we can adjust our process a little bit here. We probably will need to adjust this a bit. So let's just take that one out. And then let's just bring in a process. Where are you, rounded? So what we can do in here is that I'm just gonna move that a bit to the right, and then we can do process 0.0 here, validate order. So maybe we can do that one. So in here we can push down to customer. So customer sends to the system validates the order, and then from the validate order we can push it to here, and then we just call this valid order. So we can do that. So it's a valid order. Then we go to the process customer order. That one then print a picking list is printed for the warehouse. So we see here a picking list is coming out and goes to the warehouse when the goods are packed and dispatched to the customer. So technically you can do this. You can draw goods are packed and delivered, but there is no point because interaction between the two entities is not required. We don't have to capture it. That is outside our system. So we don't have to worry about that one. Then the details of order are recorded in the customer file. So in here, we can you can do update customer file, or you can do record order into customer file. So that can be your verb. So the order details still come here, and then that one in this process that get pushed into the customer file. And then in here, why do I come up with inventory requirement? Not really, because I still can pass on order details in here as well. The reason why I'm still able to pass order here is because this process has take order as an input. It already transformed it into something here. But then in here, we can pass it on to the next process, and then the next process will then update the stock level. So we can do updated stock level. So we can just do that one, and that one will update the stock level. So that's how you work with the DFD, and that's how you sort of validate the process. Now, how you're gonna do this in the exam is that you need to do some scribble paper, because I know you won't be able to draw this validly in one process in one go.
We drew a table with entities, process, and database, data tables.
Yep,
That's what Ashraf told us.
yep, and that's fine as well. So if you do an IPO, that will definitely work as well. So maybe we can try that one on the next question to use the IPO.
No. It's just a table, like one column is entities.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, so we can definitely do that, but you won't get this table in one go. So you need to sort of scribble it on a piece of paper, and then when you're happy, that's when you transfer it to the answer sheet. Otherwise, you're just gonna keep erasing your answer sheet, and that's not gonna be good. So, but that's the first question on the DFD. So let's stop that one, and then we'll try the next one.